People, welcome back. Continuation in our update to the reviews that we've done previously. Today is going. I gotta have a look at the notes because I can't remember this number. Today we're looking at basically the Erbauer track saw, ERB690CWS. Got that one. Anyway, I bought this back in May 2021 as I needed a track saw. Had some before, got on with them okay. So, review. As you can see, I've still got the saw. She's still going. Review time. What do I think of the saw? My honest opinion. Pretty good, actually. I'm not going to lie. The tracks that come with it. Some people say that they're a little short. I think they're 700s. But sometimes it's nice to have a little track if you're only doing a shortcut rather than a 4-footer that you've got to try and hold. And so, and when they bolt together, they do, with the connector bars, they do bolt quite solid. There's very little movement and flapping about. That's a positive. The clamps that come with the saw, I like that they run in the track. They lock pretty strong and they hold well. The only problem I've had is one of the clamps, I don't know which one, but one of the clamps, the spring inside somehow slipped off and the clamp was locked. So that's all I had to do was undo the screws, take the plate off, open the clamp up, and then put the spring back in place, and it's worked ever since. That's only happened once, and that might have been me monkey thumbing. Clamps, yeah, work great, fantastic. Side fence works great. Tracks are straight. I've checked them with a level and a straight edge and a string line, so they're nice and straight. Downsides, I personally want to get a longer track as well, but that's nothing to do with the unit. First of all, the extractor bag. Yeah. Why? It doesn't work very well. As you'll find out if you buy the saw, when you are cutting, even with the dust extractor bag on, it does throw a lot of dust out. The bag doesn't really fill up quickly, which shows to me it's ineffective of catching the dust. I think there is a bit of a flaw design with the saw with regards to the port being open where you change the blade. They could have done with a little plastic cover over there, because a lot of dust does fly out through that opening. So I am looking on, as I've got a 3D print, I am looking at making a little clip to go over that just to seal it up. And what I do is, I don't even use the bag no more, is I just put my hoover in. I use a little bit of tape to adapt it. I stick the hoover in and have the hoover going. So yeah, the dust bag, I personally don't find it of any use, so I just throw that away anyway. That's no good. The saw itself, on sheet material, ply, MDF, chipboard, hardboard, if you want to cut hardboard with it, I find no problem. Doesn't struggle at all. Worktops, anything over 30mm, and she does struggle. To the point where I've had it cut out a few times on 40mm. That might have been me trying to go too quick, but definitely on 50mm it does struggle. There is a finer kerf blade you can buy, which I haven't bought, and a finer tooth. I think there's a 20 on there at the moment. I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that. But you can get a 40 tooth, which is a finer cut, but then that's going to produce more drag as well. I think, to be honest, the motor is a little bit underpowered. Let me just see if my front screen is on. Yep, there we go. I do think the motor is a little bit underpowered. It is a brushed motor, and it's 1400 watt, which sounds a lot, but when you're cutting through 50mm worktop, it isn't enough, I think. That's the only problem. It can do it, but you've got to go brain-achingly slow. Timber, again, I'm tried cutting some sash down, some 47mm and 57mm sash. 57 just didn't want to do it. Just ended up just cutting out. So me personally, I would say that this particular saw, is really only good for 30, maybe 40mm worktops, but predominantly for board use, for cutting sheets of ply, sheets of MDF, that type of thing. That, to me, is where that product would excel, because it does, and it'll go all day cutting sheet materials. But the minute you go into them worktops, the high density compression, or it just doesn't like it, and you could do with a bit more guts. It doesn't help as a brushed motor. I understand the brushes are wearing down, blah blah blah, but still it needs to be 1800 thereabout, maybe a bit more. If you know different, let me down in the comments what experience you've had with it. Let me know. I'm just telling you over the last 2 years what I think of the saw. Build quality is quite good. I'm impressed with the build quality. I've only had, because I send my blades off to be sharpened, I've only had the blade sharpened twice, and it's still sharp. I'm not going to say I'm using a dull blade, because I ain't. It's still sharp. So I would like to try a 40 toother in there, as and when. If you can send me one, send me one. If you know somebody who can get me one, but I'll try it. Like I say, tracks, good. I am looking at getting a 6 or an 8 foot just over track. It will work with other tracks, Festool and everything, that I know of. If you know different, comment down below. Clamps are good. Bag is good. Bag is still holding all together. Allen key isn't rounding off, so that's pretty good. The only downside is the dust bag. Pants, I'll give that probably a 2 out of 10. The tracks, clamps, bag, Allen keys, I'll give an 8. And that's just because I would like to have a little bit longer track, because I'm greedy. So, I'm going to give the saw a 6 out of 10, unfortunately. I'm going to be harsh. If you only want it for cutting sheet material, boards, then I'll give it an 8 to 9 out of 10, because it'll do it, and it'll do it all day. If you want to cut anything thicker like worktops, then unfortunately that's going to go down to a 7, possibly a 6 on 50mm worktops, or timber. If you were cutting solid timber worktops, this saw isn't for you. It's really going to struggle. I'm going to give my honest opinion. So I'm going to waffle. There you are. That's the review. Yes, it's a good saw. Yes, it's built really well. I am impressed with the saw for sheet material. I'm not for other things. I think that's about it. Stay safe, people. If you like these videos, please do click the like, comment, or even subscribe if you want to. That does help me, help you bring more videos. There's a few more videos on the catch up of the reviews to come. Yeah, let's get them done. Let's get them out there, and hopefully they can help you in your next tool purchase decision. Stay tuned, people.